All right. Hi, Kim. Hi, Eric. We have a couple of people in the waiting room. Hopefully, we'll have a few more join us. So I'm going to go ahead and let them in. And I talked to Angela today, so I know she's coming too. And I'll let everyone know that we're going to start at 4.
How you doing, Janie?
Hello, everyone joining us. We're going to get started at 4, but welcome. And while we are waiting for 4 o'clock to arrive, feel free to introduce yourself to us in the chat. We'd love to know where you're joining us from today and what your role is at your division. Hi to those of you just joining us. Welcome. We'll get started in another minute or two, but in the meantime, introduce yourself to us in the chat. We'd love to know where you're coming from today. All right, everybody, I'm going to get started. It's 4 o'clock. I'm sure we'll have a few more people join us. That's okay. I'll let them in. We are recording, so we will post this on our website later. We'll let you know where we're going to post this. So feel free to share this with other teachers at your school, your admin, teacher friends at other schools, anyone who might be interested. We'll make sure you have the recording so people can check this out and get the great information that we're going to discuss tonight. So thank you for joining us. We know this is a busy time of year, busy time of day. You have a lot of things going on, but we at WHRO, we host the Great Computer Challenge, 2 of them every year, and you're going to learn all about that tonight. This session, we expect to run about a half hour, give or take, and we just want to tell you what the Great Computer Challenge is, what to expect, what it looks like at your school. what it looks like the day of the challenge at Old Dominion University. And then we want to answer some of your questions so that you hopefully would consider creating a team and bringing your team to the challenge. So let's get rolling and talk about what this is. If you haven't yet, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. We'd love to see where everyone is coming from today. I see lots of variety in there and I love it. So let's get rolling. All right, some really brief introductions here. My name is Janie Everett. I'm the Educational Technology Manager at WHRO Public Media. My email is on the screen. If you need anything, let me know. I'll be doing a brief introduction tonight, and then I'm going to pass it along to our other speakers who know a lot more about the GCC than I do. So Angela, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself quickly?
Sure. I am Angela Franklin. I'm the CII/GCC coordinator here at WHRO. I do all of the CII coordinations for the forums and things like that, and especially the Great Computer Challenge. So if you need any information or any questions, just let me know. I am your contact person.
Thanks, Kim.
Hi, I'm Kim Montalvo, and I am currently the Director of Assessment and Accountability for Poquoson City Public Schools, formerly Instructional Technology Administrator, and before that ITRT, and before that middle school math teacher, science teacher, a little bit of social studies in there, so a few different things.
Thanks, Kim. Eric?
Hi, I'm Eric Nestor. I'm a CTE teacher at Oscar Smith in Chesapeake. I teach computer-aided drafting, architecture, engineering, those sorts of things. And I've been participating in the Great Computer Challenge since about 1998.
Woo, did not know that. That is a long time. That's amazing.
Sure
So
is.
I just, that's great. I have a few more things to say before I pass it along to these good people. Here's our agenda for the night, what I plan to cover. We did our introductions. I'll give you some meeting norms, short video. We'll talk about past Great Computer Challenges, which we abbreviate to GCC. You'll probably hear that a lot tonight. We'll give you information about the upcoming 2024 GCCs, and then we'll answer your questions in the end. But, feel free to ask questions in the chat as we go along too. This session is being recorded. We will share it here. We will also share these slides, so no need to rush to write down these links right now. I'll give you the slides at the end. Please stay muted, of course, while we're chatting, but you can use the chat all night. We'll have a Q&A at the end. And of course, like I said, I'll share all of this with you before we go. All right, I want to share a short video with you. It's only 2 minutes long, but just so you can kind of get the feel and tone for what a Great Computer Challenge is.
You don't know what the Great Computer Challenge is? Ask them. Welcome you to the 38th Annual Great Computer Challenge Junior Competition. Yeah.
A level 2 desktop presentation. We competed in internet scavenger hunt. Block coding. What was the most exciting thing about today? Yeah, just feeling and being able to win, I guess. Probably like working together just working together with your friends and just hang out, have fun. We got awards before like in like sports and stuff, but like something like this, we never got. Oh wow, now you do. You added it. Congratulations.
So the Great Computer Challenge, as you can tell, is a really fun day where we gather students of all ages to participate in tech-related competitions in various topics. And they have the chance to win trophies and medals. And it's a really fun day for the students and for us too.
You don't know what the Great Computer Challenge is?
No. So hopefully if you're here tonight, you are from one of these divisions in green. These are the divisions who own WHRO Public Media, and students groups from these divisions listed here are eligible to participate in the Great Computer Challenge. So hopefully everybody here tonight is from one of these regions. These are the grade and age requirements. The junior competition, we have level 1, grades K2. Level 2 is grades 3-5. And then the senior challenge, which is on a different date, level 3 is grades 6-8, and level 4 is grades 9-12. All right, so at this, I'm going to pass it over to Eric, and he's going to tell you all about what GCC looks like in his school and when he takes his students to the senior competition. And then after that, we'll hear from Kim more about the junior competition. And then Angela will wrap us up at the end with some information about the upcoming 2024 dates. So take it away, Eric.
Can you hear me?
We
Good?
can.
Okay. Again, I'm Eric Nestor from Chesapeake. I've been competing in this since 1998. And my first year, I believe, was 1998. And I remember putting a team together, but I had a lot of questions. I didn't know what to expect or what I was walking into. And one of the most helpful things was being able to contact WHRO or talk to some other teachers so they could kind of give me a big picture of what to expect on competition day. So I'm not just walking in there blind. However, there is a learning curve your first year, but I can guarantee your students are going to enjoy it. It's so well run, so well organized. It's in the door, to the point. Let's get down and dirty with the competitions. The kids have fun. There's an awesome award ceremony. Everybody goes home happy and has had a great experience. They get to experience the college campus. As far as competitions and putting a team together, you definitely want to maybe ask a few questions or read the information about the different competitions to see what is available for your school. And there's such a wide range. I personally do the computer-aided drafting, where my students are engineering students, and they show up with their computers and we set up, and the professor or dean of engineering from ODU comes in and gives them a series of problems that they have to complete within 3 hours. I've had kids that work individually, and I've had kids that work as a group on a team. And I believe I'm able to bring as many up to 4 teams, and they set up in a room and they look at their competition. And when the judge says go, it's time to go. They get 3 hours. And by the end of that, they're kicked out of the room. They go enjoy some lunch and a movie. And the judges work the rooms and decide who did the best, who's first, second, third place. Then there's a big award ceremony where the first, second, third place teams are invited to cross across the stage, and they receive medals. And if you are the first place winner in the senior divisions, there is a traveling trophy, a very large traveling trophy that has your school's team names and your school name engraved on it. And you get to hold it for a year. And the following year, you get to compete to try to keep it for the next year. My kids always have a good time. They run around the school. We get to visit a college campus, like I said. I've never had a kid walk away disappointed. And I've even drugged some kids there that normally probably wouldn't do something like this, and they leave with a big smile on their face too. Well run, well organized. Being a CTE teacher, there's a lot of other competitions. But by far, the Great Computer Challenge blows them all away, just because of the hard team that works behind it and how well organized it is. That's it.
Thank you, Eric. And remember, if we have questions, you can ask in the chat. I'm sure Eric would be willing to answer there. And then we'll also have a Q&A at the end where we can, voice our questions. But at this time, I'm going to pass it on to Kim from Pocosin, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about the junior levels of GCC and what her experience has been like with those. Do we still have Kim? Did we lose her? Let me see. Oh, I see her coming back in right now. We must have lost her. Give me one moment to add her. There she comes. Hi, Kim. I saw we lost you for a moment. Eric just finished his portion. So if you're ready, we're ready to move on to you. Does that sound good?
My computer rebooted. Right
Oh my
after
goodness. Well, it
middle.
was perfect timing, so no worries. And I have your slides up, so just let me know when you want me to move to the next one.
Okay, perfect. Oh goodness, I was even trying to get on with my phone and it wasn't behaving. Oh goodness.
No worries.
Okay, so Eric mentioned that he had been doing this since what, 1989, I think you said, or something like that.
98.
98. I had the
Not that
numbers
old.
reversed. So I've only been in Pocosin for 16 years and I've been participating with GCC for that entire span of time. But one of our coaches, she's actually a paraprofessional for Pocosin and used to, well, she still teaches, facilitates our lessons for our technology rotation at our elementary school. And she's actually been doing this for 35 years. She has the t-shirts to prove it. So we have lots of conversations when we're lugging all of our equipment on the day of competition, how she used to have the monitor, the printer, the CPU, like all of the things to go when she would go through. So pretty exciting that we have her expertise as we do this every year, and to hear the changes over time that have happened, and she still loves it and comes back every single year with us. So you can go ahead and move on to the next one. That was some of our teams from last year. Currently and most consistently, our elementary school, which is a grades 3 through 5 school, participates. We have had our kindergarten through 2nd grade, which is at our primary school, participate in the past. It just depends on our staffing and whether or not we have a coach or not. And we have had our middle school participate as well. A lot of our high school students that end up participating do so through either Gov School or New Horizons and various other places. So I'm working on getting that going too, to hopefully get people coming back to there. So I kind of just laid out our slides on how we do it. It's definitely not the only way to do it, but we start out and we have permission forms, and for them to even just try out. We do host tryouts. When we first started doing it, it was by kind of teacher recommendation and seeing who was just interested. But I'll give you an example. Last year we had 63 students try out for our 5 teams, and so we have a very high interest. We have had some years where we've had a club that meets regularly for those students who haven't been able to participate and didn't make the teams. It just depends on the year and staffing and timing again. So it's kind of interesting. We do our tryouts. They select which team they're going to try out for prior to the day of. We provide them an hour, even though the competition for the junior level is an hour and 45 minutes for our age students. It's a little bit shorter for the younger ones. And then we have our tryout team, like all of the pieces that are submitted are blind scored using rubrics that we created just based on what components the software that they use for that product is capable of doing. And then we do our team selection with letters and announcements, and we make a huge deal about it. So we can go ahead to the next slide. We do schedule, currently we do it so that we have meetings once a week after school. We don't have transportation, so parents do have to commit to transportation. We do have a lot of people that end up carpooling so that they can participate. We have asked if there's any possibility at some point of doing transportation to make it a little bit more equitable, but we haven't won that battle quite yet. Closer to competition, we start doing twice a week practices. And then what we typically do during those practices, we do a combination of two different things. One, we either use past problems that have been used in the GCC, which you can find on the website. The other thing that we do is we take the time and allow them to create authentic products during that time. So our teams, for instance, typically participate in the desktop presentation or sometimes the graphic arts or graphic design. So we have them make content for advertising events for the school or putting on the digital signage, and we allow them to put a little thing at the bottom that says created by Poquoson Elementary School GCC team. So they get, they get the props for that. And we always have them start out for every single time we start on a new product. We give them the problem. We have them go through, highlight the important things, kind of reinforcing what they're getting in their literacy classes or their reading classes, and identify what the problem is, what they have to include. We practice going through all of the different menus in the program that they're using. We have them source other things. So for instance, for our graphic design, sometimes we'll invite in a professional that does that for a living. Sometimes we've had the art teacher come in. We'll check out books from the library that have things about design. So I have on there, for instance, color, contrasting colors, making sure things are balanced, perspective, grouping and overlaying of different pieces that are on the product. And they take a lot of pride in it. This past year, we started doing it so after every single time they had a complete product, they then present it to the rest of the group and they critique one another once they know what the problem is and they see what they've done, and they kind of give each other ideas for how to move forward with it and make it even better, which has been it's created this really nice community within the group. Okay, you can go ahead. We really prepare them for what it's going to look like too on the challenge day. These are 3rd through 5th graders. They've never gone to a college campus, most of them. Every once in a while you have somebody that's gone to like a sporting event or have an older sibling or cousin or something that's been and they've gone to visit, but typically it's a whole new thing and it's really exciting to them. It was kind of really special last year after having several of our 5th graders had done it virtually through the pandemic. And so having the opportunity to be on campus, it was like a whole nother experience to them last year. But before we ever go, like one of the last practices that we have, we make sure we go through all of the packet that WHRO sends out prior to. We explain the rules, we talk through what the schedule is going to look like. We kind of give them an opportunity to ask us questions about what it's going to look like. We make a packing list and make sure we have all of our items checked off and packed before we go that day. And some of the things that we don't, like you might not think about, like we have the computers and chargers, those are kind of the common things, but we also bring scratch paper. We make like a manila envelope full of scratch paper, pencils, highlighters. We actually add in extension cords and surge protectors because in some of the rooms at the web center, they don't have a whole lot of power access. And so we typically will run whatever we have and let other people borrow whatever we have who haven't experienced this before. We usually have our students bring their lunches. There is typically a couple of the restaurants in the web center are open that day, and so we usually we let them go to them, but sometimes those lines are really long, so we encourage them to bring those. On that day, you have your opening ceremonies, then you go to competition where the students go into the rooms. We prepare them for all of this, saying, we're going to drop you off, and then we're going to leave you with some other people that are strangers, but you're in a safe space. We have to reassure parents of that too, sometimes, especially the third graders that participate. We then, after competition is done, WHRO or whoever the monitors are in that room will usually call us, or we're nearby the room to pick up our students. We usually have our parents drive on out and meet up with us to have lunch together, and then to go to awards and then pack up. And then we always get a bus going back and forth. I know there's a lot of schools that just have parent transportation and everybody meets up there or they carpool. We have been really fortunate to have the support of our schools to really give us that opportunity to take the buses in. So that's, and then we always stop, it's a Pocosin tradition, we stop on the way back at Wendy's for Frosties and fries. And if anybody, like, we tried to get rid of that and they weren't having it. As a matter of fact, even when we were virtual, they were like, we heard that you do Frosties and fries after GCC. So after we finished our virtual competition, we all went down to Wendy's and went and had Frosties and fries. So we make a huge day out of it. It's pretty fun.
I like that tradition, the
Yeah.
Frosties and fries. That's a good one. Thank you, Kim. So now we're going to move on to our last portion. I'm going to hand it over to Angela. She is the major brain behind this whole competition. She's done this forever, and she's going to tell you about the upcoming dates for our next competitions. Let me know when you want me to switch the slides.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know about the brain behind it all, but I have done it quite a bit. This is my 26th year out of the 39. So yeah, it does seem like a lot. But anyway, so this year's competition, we have them starting in March. The senior competition is March the 9th. The second competition, which is the junior competition, is on April the 27th. So registration will start and open on December the 15th. We're in the process of getting all the, information updated, waiting to hear back from ODU as far as category updates, if there are going to be any rules or changes or anything. So that's currently what this time frame is. We're, usually just waiting to hear back from ODU. Then once everything is updated, we'll get the updated information on the website, and then we can hit the button and registration will be open on December the 15th. So that gives you from December until January, the middle of January this year. You can switch to the next slide. Yeah, so you have that time frame to register. The kids have a lot of fun. Okay, it's just to see their experiences, their faces, especially the little guys. They're so excited. The older kids, they're cool, they try to hold back on it, but I really believe they're excited too. And, being on a college campus really does a little extra for the older kids. So to experience the college campus, and then they get to showcase their talents. These are kids from all over the region that, see what other kids are doing in the same field. So it makes them feel a little, hey, I'm one of the big boys, I'm doing big things. So like Eric said, they get, medals and certificates. They get a t-shirt. The winners, of course, everybody gets a t-shirt, but the winners get a medal, plaque, and then level 4 gets the big traveling trophy. So they get to keep it for a year. This year, you guys get to take it home. We don't take it back. You guys get to take it home with you and brag from day one. So you get to keep it a little bit longer this time. So you can switch now. But yeah, like I said, the first competition, which is a senior competition, that is on March the 9th. And the deadline for registration will be January the 19th. No registrations will be accepted. We have to have a deadline. We have to have a cutoff. It has to be, somewhere where we have to say, look, we can't take any more, because we're at that point where we're printing, we've sent stuff off to the printers. So that absolute deadline is the 26th. So you have from December the 15th to January 19th to register, and you have that extra week for the absolute deadline for the senior competition. And the categories, they range. You can go to the website and check out there are a ton of categories for the senior competition. We just couldn't list them all on the slide, but they vary from CAD to music, video editing. There is something for everyone. So next slide. And then again, the links for the information is, the GCC website, and then register. You can click on the register button off of the website. And then the junior competition is April 27th. So the deadline for that competition is March the 8th, and the absolute deadline is the 15th. And again, categories, you don't have as many for the junior competition, but there's still a lot. In fact, the little kids, the level 1 kids, I think they only have like 3 categories, but it's still a lot. It's still a lot. They all love it. Those kids, the shirts on them they're so cute. They are so cute. So, but yeah, website has all the information. If you need, more information in details, you can go to the website. We've got past problems there. We've got the solutions, some solutions. Actually, I think the solutions link, because we're switching over to a different website, that link doesn't work. We didn't have a whole lot of solutions anyway, because we asked that everybody upload their solutions at the end of the competition. And I think when they leave, it's like, oh, I'm over it, I'm done. So we didn't have a lot of submissions for the past solutions, but the problems are there. So you can get an idea of what the problems are and what they will, be asked. Next one. And yeah, and that's kind of a picture of cybersecurity. They have the big trophy. That's one of the biggest ones. That's one of the newest trophies. But those are, they get to hold on to it and brag about it and tell all their friends, we've got this trophy. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So yeah. Any questions? We have a FAQ on the website as well. So if you have any questions and you can't find it, the answer's there. Just email me and let me know. And I can, answer the questions. But yeah, it's on the website. Most of the frequently asked questions. Yeah, we had it up there. I know.
I need to refresh this because I know you added these. Let me go back down. Maybe I just had to do a little refresh.
There it is. Yep, there it is.
Okay, so because we're at 4:30 and we're down to the question portion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to stop the recording, and I'm going to put the link for this slideshow in the chat. Meanwhile, the rest of you who have joined us this evening, feel free to start asking questions because we have reached our question portion. You can do so in the chat. You can unmute yourself and ask that way, whatever you feel most comfortable with.